What's going on, folks? I'm about to be showing you how you could test your alternator, just in case you're wondering if your alternator is bad or not, using a multimeter. Sometimes your issue may be your battery keeps on going dead. When you come out, if you let your car sit for a few days or something, sometimes your battery can just go dead, but other times it can actually be that your alternator itself is bad. Now you can actually test your alternator at your battery to make sure enough power is coming to it. But sometimes you may have an issue with a connection in between the wires from your alternator to your battery, which may make it appear as if your alternator itself is bad, but really it's just a connection in between it. So to test your alternator, what we can do is use a multimeter to test it. And what you're going to want to do is set your multimeter. First, you want to plug in your leads, pretty much one into your voltage, one over here, one to your common. Then you're going to want to take your multimeter over here to DC current, and you want to put it on the 20 volt. If you have it on there, put it on about 20 volt, because this should read out a little bit over 14 volts pretty much. So now what I'm doing is I got it set to where I wanted it. I'm gonna go ahead and start the vehicle up, and then if you can see right here, I'm going to be putting my red lead onto this right here, the part to where your power comes off your alternator. Normally it's covered up with a piece like that. Then you want to take your black lead and just touch somewhere on the top of your alternator just to get a good ground on. So I'm going to go ahead and start the vehicle up now, and I'll show you. Okay, now we have the vehicle started up. So what I'm going to want to do now is, go ahead and first what I want to do is take my black lead and I'm going to touch it onto the top of my, put this right here so you can see it, of my alternator. Then I'm going to take the red and touch it onto the power part over here, but you should see on the multimeters around 14.3 to 14.6 volts. And if you see that, it tells you that the alternator is working correctly. So I'm going to touch it up here and touch the back part there. And as you can see, I can say it's like 14.7, which tells me that this alternator, zoom up a little bit on it. If you can see that, yeah, it's showing 14.6, 14.7. So what this is telling me is that this alternator is actually putting out the correct amount of power pretty much. So if my battery still keeps going dead, it's telling me that either the issue with the battery may have dead cells in it, or I have an issue somewhere else, like maybe a drain on the battery, or possibly even a bad connection in between the alternator and the battery. All right, folks, once again, this is how you would use a multimeter to test your alternator, just in case you believe that there could be a problem with your alternator that keeps on making your battery go dead. All right, please check out our helpful videos. Please like, subscribe, and share. Thanks.